Final thoughts. We're going around the sports sphere here on the Juice Bar to wrap up. Teams have reached 3 in a row.
There's other stuff going on outside the Knicks play?
That's right, baby. We got a Champions League final this Saturday.
Man, yeah, we do.
So the teams that reached 3 in a row thing is fascinating. It's historic. We got a great research from our guys here. Of course, Bills in the 90s, the Finns and Shula in the 70s, the Pats, of course, with Brady and Belichick. You go to the NBA, the Lakers, your Bulls, the Lakers plural. Yankees galore, the A's in the 70s of all teams. The Isles, got to shout them out, in the 80s, one-of-one run, and then the Canadians, of course. But now we have, and we can keep it going, shout out the Houston Comets in the W, and of course, the Champions League. I mean, you got Real, plural, Bayern's in there. Florida Panthers, they lose to the Knights. They come back. We talked kind of about it a little bit on getting to the finals and losing. Fascinating series, but they take in 7 a Conor McDavid, they call him McJesus, club. Win in 7. They're back again in a rebuttal against the Oilers. Hit Skinner versus Bobrovsky in net again. But let's just talk overall scope here. How special for this Florida Panthers club, who did retool amidst a little bit of Four Nations injuries, and they're back again. But a Stanley Cup, incredible feat, and not to mention they had a President's Trophy amidst this last several years.
Yeah, the Ice Cats, man. And they got a good hockey culture down there.
They do.
What an interesting place Florida is in general.
Throwing rats on a rink, baby.
Dude, Florida's like the most wild place on earth. But, yeah, the culture is there. They're right back. What did what's his name say to McDavid last year? He said, "I hope to see you back here in the finals next
Love
year."
it.
That's exactly
who Kachuk who said that.
Yeah, Kachuk said to McDavid, like, "Hopefully, I'll see you back here next year," and that's exactly what's going down.
Incredible.
Yeah, it really takes the most underrated element of it is culture, man. The culture has to be extremely strong. You even just because I'm a Chicago guy, you even saw it with the Bulls. Once the on floor team was perfect.
Yeah.
They had the best coach, best player. The culture started to crumble around it, and they couldn't keep it together.
Right.
Like,
you start winning. It's.
Well, that's what I mean.
Once you get to the top of the mountain, how do you stay at the top of the mountain?
To get to 3 in a row, your culture has to be so strong, and that's like the most.
Is there a
special thing about
when you look at this list?
Doing.
Yeah, when you look at this list, not a lot of recent teams. These are a lot of 90s, even past that, 70s on this list, 80s. So you think as we get more and more into top dollar and a lot of turnover and even NIL turnover.
You even see it with the NBA. Like, what do we have? 8 straight different champs?
Just not a lot of allegiance. Or is allegiance not the correct word?
Well, no,
it's just opportunity.
A lot of different opportunities, a lot more talent. So
well,
it's a lot more
like,
convoluted.
Don't you feel like if you left 90s teams, whether it was the NFL or the NBA, you were that guy. It was almost like I don't want to say group think, but just like you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
but if you're if you're on the Thunder this year and you're Jalen Williams, and you're like, oh, I can be paid SGA money, or I can get paid 15 mil less.
You're dead on. The allegiance was there a lot. Like Horace Grant for the Bulls.
Oh, great point. When he went to Orlando.
3 in a row and left. And he was like.
Got his.
He's a role player. But it was like, damn, you're leaving? And it wasn't even like a top guy. Nowadays, you get guys floating around all over the place. There's a lot more moving parts. And you then add the second apron and salary caps, and
you did say something interesting about hockey, though. These guys are all in, and no one's playing more. This isn't the NBA, NFL, whatever. Any thought there on just it is very much a team game. There's lines,
very
plural.
Much a team game.
So that culture is very interesting,
Probably
and that we didn't grow.
The ultimate team game, honestly. If I'm being honest, you could argue football is the ultimate team game because you even have two. You have 2 sets of teams playing 2 opposite sides of the ball.
Yeah.
So they're almost like separate teams, like offense and defense,
100%.
right? So, but we were talking about hockey and just you have to be solid through multiple lines. Like your best player, McDavid's only going to play 18, 19, 20 minutes a game.
It's wild.
So the other 40, someone else is going to have to step up and fill those shoes. And on the flip side of a lot of games, Tom Brady's playing damn near every snap on offense. Jalen Brunson's playing 42 minutes
most definitely
in the playoffs. So hockey is a very interesting game. You need the culture. You need to have that team feeling with also being super loaded on the top end side with talent, and that's what the Ice Cats have done. So salute to them getting back. I think the Oilers got it though. It just feels very much like.
I mean, you got the hot hand of the poker table.
I
like it.
I don't know. I'm not a hockey guy. I'm not going to be able to break down things, but I'm really good at picking spots, and I'm really good at after the numbers, kind of how I see things shaking out and the mentality. The Oilers have to be just frothing at. They cannot wait to get a rematch.
Mindset-wise, for sure.
Back going.
Any thoughts for the Ben on the?
And no matter what
repeat?
you say, the Cats have been chilling at the house. You're coming off a title. They are, bar none, feeling themselves more than the Oilers. That's it. The Oilers haven't won anything. Cup hasn't been in Canada, the whole thing.
I just hate that the Stars' defense and their liability with Ottinger and net is night and day from what the Cats are going to bring defensively. But yeah, any thoughts?
No, I was just going to bring up, I mentioned before, 3 all-time Stanley Cup rematches, and each time the team that lost the first won the second. So
any different? Any thoughts?
Yeah, there's only 3 times.
Any thoughts as a hockey fan, Ben, on this rematch of Edmonton, Florida specifically?
It's going to probably go 7 games, and I hope McDavid does it. Yeah.
And you hope who? Or
I hope McDavid
Edmonton?
and the Oilers do it. I want to see.
So you don't love the Canadian streak as a whole?
I mean,
running.
I want to see greatness win.
Yeah.
And I think also being in the Eastern Conference, Rangers, Panthers have a little bitter taste in my mouth. But what I wanted to point out, what I thought was the craziest streak on this whole list.
Yeah.
Celtics in the mid-50s.
1910s?
Tell them again,
They went 10 in a row.
In the 1800s?
Tell them again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going to 10 straight finals?
Yeah.
Well,
I watched the doc.
did
It's well done.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Hockey culture is awesome.
Hockey culture is awesome. And one thing that's fun about a guy like me that doesn't follow very closely certain sports, you turn on the Oilers, if you don't know anything, McDavid picks up the puck in open ice, and you're like, who the hell is that?
Nick Jesus.
That dude, I just watched the game for 5 minutes, and this dude, whoever this guy is, completely different level than everyone else, and it's very clear. So that's always fun when you haven't been too dialed in, and you get a reminder. Like, you see, if you're not a soccer person, you go back and watch like highlights of Messi.
Yeah.
You see him on the ball.
Special.
It just looks different. It is different. It's a different level. That's the same feeling you get with McDavid.
I was going to say, for those Blackhawks teams that we saw when we were in Chicago, it was like Patty Kane was a completely different level of stick handling and everything like that. And like, it's just some guys have a different energy to them.
For sure.
Absolutely. Any comps here on our way out to Ben? You got a little Draisaitl McDavid
are we gonna
comparison
get it
for me? What?
We're going to get it staggered with Draisaitl comparison is fun. But are we going to get it staggered for the NBA? Because that's the case. I'll watch.
So it's every other night.
If it's every other night. I would love to watch NBA.
Yeah. Otherwise,
hockey.
I'm on that YouTube TV split or laptop
no split
TV.
For me. I got the full
Locked
NBA
in.
going. But if they don't cross up, I'll definitely watch the Stanley Cup.
It's going to be
Finals
compelling.
for sure.
This is random. Me and Draisaitl are almost the exact same age, one day different. He was born the day after me in 95. Heck yeah.
Same height?
Scorpio. I'm taller.
Oh.
And he's heavier. So
He's tall, dude.
Have we seen Draisaitl and McDavid? This 1-2. Draisaitl doesn't get enough shine because of McDavid. They're unbelievable.
The Islanders, when they won 4 in a row, their last win was against the Oilers, the Gretzky Oilers.
Oh.
Then the next year they played again, and Oilers won.
Oh,
and then
that's
the
fun.
Oilers went on their run.
That's wow.
So maybe the Panthers are what the Oilers need to kind of like, steel sharpen steel type of thing.
Right. Now, last thought on it. Because I lean defense with Florida, does Edmonton have to morph into a version of themselves defensively that we haven't seen yet, or can they just outscore Florida, like 6-3 type games?
I think they're going to put more pressure on the Panthers' defense, and their secondary scoring, which is what they kind of lacked last year, has stepped up. So they have more depth that can, I think, power through. But we'll see. The Panthers are really good too. They're
if they win on this list, to put a button on it, you put them in any kind of rare air 2 of 3, not 3 in a row, but I mean, one of the more special hockey units in well over 10, 20 years here.
I mean, definitely. I mean, because before this, you had the Lightning had 3 in a row, and they were, I think, a different kind of juggernaut. They were
Florida hockey, man.
Yeah, Florida has been in the Stanley Cup. I think this is the 7th year in a row.
Unbelievable.
A Florida team has been in the Stanley Cup.
Unbelievable. Well, 3 sets are not 3 teams going 3 straight to any championship is rare air and very fun to talk about it on the Juice Bar. I'll probably be pulling for the Panthers. I should be rooting for the Oilers, but I don't know. I like a little bit of greatness here and there. So yeah, that wraps it up. Juice Bar. 3-peat. Almost. Make sure to check out the Juice Bar across all mediums. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. Sean Little at Chicago Flow. Alex Monaco at Moneyline Monaco. We are rocking every week at MSG Networks. Tune in.